Alright folks, so here's part 2 here. As you can see, I got the whole frame out and tickled to death with it, so I got it out by myself and wasn't too big a deal. And just took a cherry picker, had to move it around to the front there and set the back of the car on the ground there. And well, not on the ground, but on a couple blocks there. And just took a cherry picker and lifted up the front of it, and then ended up just taking this whole frame and was light enough to shove it over and then just push it on out the rest of the way. So wasn't too bad. I got to come back and fix that because it's about ready to kick out, and I think we'll have it. But I'm gonna lower this body down safely now, and we'll probably just have it sitting on just that one 8-inch block right there, and that'll probably be about it. But I don't want the wind to come and knock this thing over. Would not be too good. So that's what I'm gonna do next here. I'm gonna take a little break, and then we'll just ease this thing back down, and we'll just sit it on top of these. I might just sit on top of them wheels for now. And I am, as you can see, I did take a 2x6 is what that actually is, and put underneath both rocker arms. Well, it was underneath there, and I had one there and one on the other side just to support it there. But ain't much rocker left on that. But you want to put it underneath this major structural area right there, and I think it'd be pretty good. So that's what I did, and I gotta fix that for that kicks out. But worked out pretty good. So now I can come in here and get everything out of the way now, so now I can truly see what's going on with it. And I don't really see anything on this frame that you know sticks out. So pretty sure it's never really been an accident or anything. But even if it was, it would be, you know, this would be buckled right in here, this rear cross member. So I don't think it ever was, but the main thing now is I just want to clean this frame up, and I don't think it'll take too long to do it. But I should have a generator in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll get power restored back, and where we can get back on working on this stuff. But I wanted to do this for now to have this ready. And this is also a test for me too, because when I get the 57 Bel Air, we're going to probably going to go a slightly different direction, and I don't even think we're going to use that body. I think we're just going to end up taking that body off that frame and just using that frame on the Bel Air there, and just building it from the frame up and making it a 57 Plymouth there. I think it'd be a better direction to go, because by the time it's all said and done, it's not going to be that much left of that car, you know, by the time you put the quarters on it and all that to make it a Plymouth. And you know, you're already going to have to buy floor pans for it, front and rear, the trunk pan and everything, because they're just right to pieces in that car. And you know, it's not really going to be that much left of it. So I think we're just going to try. 5 guys are going to be happy. I think we're going to end up just using the frame off that car more than likely, and going from there. But this is just a test for me to see, you know, how good I can do this, and I was successful at it. So far I've taken off 2 pickup beds in my lifetime, and no, 3 pickup beds. I've did 3 pickup beds by myself, and this is the first body I've ever taken off a frame by myself. And I'm gonna be a little something. I'd be a little, you know, scared to do it on something like this because the floor is pretty rough. I wouldn't really attempt it on this car without, you know, I would do it, but I would not do it until, you know, you put some bracing, because this car, something like this, would definitely need bracing. You know, this is an X-frame car, and you know, it's really nothing there really holding this car together. So I would take and definitely put some bracing in this car before I would even attempt to lift this car up, because it's just so rotted. But my Etzel I wouldn't be too worried about. I would do it to that. And then Chevelle, you know, that car is very, very structurally sound. So I mean, it's got some rot in it, but it's nothing, it's not in a structural area, I should say. Yeah, it might not have a trunk pan, but this car is, you know, very, very solid, and I don't think you're really gonna have an issue with that. You know, the body mounts, all this is really nice in it. So you know, this is a very, very solid car. I mean, it's got the typical rod bound around the windshield channel and the rear back glass channels and things like that. But even down in this area is not really rotted, so that's pretty amazing. Usually they rot to pieces down there, but they're not. This rocker panel, these are actually galvanized rocker panels, if you don't know. And a 66, 67 Chevelle. I'm sure they had it other years too, but I know a 66 for sure and a 67 had galvanized rocker panels. They actually had a advertisement for them for I forget what exactly they call it, but they were basically a self-washing rocker panel, meaning that when it rains, it's good in one way, but another way it's kind of bad. But all the rainwater goes down in the cowl and then comes over and goes down here and then flows out and then flushes all the dirt out, is what is on paper. So that's what it's supposed to do. So if you think about it, it's good in one way, but another way it's not, because it's just washing all that dirt and everything down in there. Like anything else, it's nothing really fancy, because a lot of cars at that time were that way. And it's usually what happens, and then it causes the rocker panels to rot out. But these cars, you could sit in a field and they would rot to pieces, and literally the rocker panels would probably be the only thing left on it because they're galvanized. So it's crazy. But it's kind of hard to find one of these cars. I've never seen one that the rocker panels were rotted because they're galvanized. But so this is where we're at, and like I said, I'm gonna lower it down a little bit more, and I'm not gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna fix that. I know that's kind of sketchy. So, but now that I've done this, so we're gonna get all this going on this, and we'll be a lot closer than what we are right now. And then when we put the body back on this frame, this is just a quick, you know, supposed to be a quick, you know, pulling the frame in and out, and just throwing it right back under here, and then we're gonna start building the car for real there. So that is the plan, and we'll put the trunk pan in and start addressing that issue, you know, for good back there. And then we're going to start probably putting the doors on for good and getting everything lined up, and not worry about painting it. I'm not trying to restore the car. I just want to get this car, you know, back structurally sound again and safe again. So that's the plan with it. So, but this had to happen, and you know, I know it's really not that hard. You know, we got two body mounts right here. So if you look on the frame, you got one right on the corner right here at the end of my boot. So that's two on each side. That's two. That's four. That's six. That's 8. That's 10. That's 12. 12 bolts. That's it. And you can take this whole body off the frame. That's it. That's all that's holding this car together. And you got to take your the wire harness, all that you could unplug. No big deal there. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, your wire harness is probably all hacked to pieces anyway. But if it's original, you can just unplug the harness, take all them body mounts out under your e-brake cable, or you could just cut it. If it's junk and it's frozen, I would just take it off. We don't cut it, but I didn't want to do that because this one's still good. So as you can see, mine still moves. I don't want to do that. I don't want to ruin it, because this car's got all new parking cables on it. And, you know, look, it's even still got the tag on it. So, you know, that one's got one too. So, I don't want to do it. I just pulled it off. Oh, well. But, that's why I want to do this thing. You know, it's got all new brake lines on it and everything. It just needs, basically, the frame just needs to be cleaned up and painted. And, you know, obviously I'm going to have to put new coil springs and, you know, rear bushings and all that stuff. But that can be done when the body's put back on the frame. I'm not worried about it. And I just want to get the frame cleaned up. And I'm going to try and get underneath this car and clean the whole underneath of it up. And again, we're not trying to restore the car. We just want to preserve it. And the way I look at it, I just don't understand why people don't do this. It's not that hard. And I did this within, you know, a day. It took about all day to do it, but, you know, realistically, I took a bunch of breaks, so really it would have took about half a day. So you could do this in half a day. It's not that big a deal. And roll the frame out, clean it up, and you could roll it back underneath the car, honestly, if you want it, in one day. But that's all, you know, spend all day on. So I say about half a day to pull the frame out, and then half a day to roll it back in, and realistically in the real world, probably a day to clean the whole frame up. So, and again, I'm not restoring it, I just want to clean it up. So, and all the suspension stuff, it's new. It's kind of, I'm not really worried about, you know, doing that right now, because a lot of people would go and just rebuild it now. I don't want to do that, because that can be done. The way I look at it, the front suspension is the easier part to do, because, you know, I'm going to leave the front clip off on it, and we can rebuild the front suspension while the front clip is off, so we can got easier access to everything. And then once that's done, then we can put the front clip back on it. So it, you know, I do things a little bit differently. You know, I would rather rebuild the front suspension, the rear suspension now, because it's easier to get to, but I can't really see doing that. So I'm not that worried about it. It's not that big a deal. And realistically, a bunch of these bolts and everything, I'm probably not even going to take a chance on even just trying to unbolt. I might, but I'm probably just going to, I'm going to put on new hardware in it. So I'm more than likely, I'm just going to take cut off wheel and just, you know, and just be done with it. And put new control arms on it, and upper and lower control arms, and then that'll probably be it. And replace the shock mounts too. So, but does not have shocks on it. It does on the front, but not on the back. So, but I'm gonna have to get a new master cylinder. That's junk. That's been in the weather. So, I'm hoping and praying that you know, I can just throw a new, once we get the body back on it, we can throw a new master cylinder on it, bleed everything out, flush everything out, get all the trash out of it, and hopefully we'll have brakes again. And we'll probably, I'll check the wheel cylinders. I'm going to check everything thoroughly. But I'll probably repack the front wheel bearings too. And this is just freshening up everything. That's all I'm trying to do to this frame. That's all I want to do. I'm not trying to restore. I just want to freshen everything back up and address all the rust issues now, because the way I look at it, and I don't understand why a lot of folks don't do this and take the time to do it, because it's not that time consuming. It's really not. You know, you could do this like in probably a couple days, maybe a week at the most. Because do it now, that way you preserve the car and it lasts for years and years and years, instead of halfway doing stuff. This is a pet peeve of mine, and you know, I like to do things the right way. So, but that's where I'm at, and I'm gonna take this door, I'm gonna roll that glass down, we're gonna put the door away, and we are gonna use these doors for sure. So these are the best doors I have, and I'm definitely gonna use them. But I'll have to go in there. I will have to get all the glass and the vent glass and all that stuff out of them, and get all the window regulators and all that stuff out of them, so I can see what's what, because I want to paint the doors, and you know, this is at a much later date, but I want to at least, I say paint, but prime the doors, get the inside of the door undercoat it, make sure the drain holes are cleaned out, so when it rains later, it doesn't fill the door up with water. You know, it's just bunch of little stuff like that I want to do yet. So, but this is where I'm at, and then real excited about this. But I want to try, and the main goal was clean the frame up, and then I'm gonna try to get it at least in all the areas that the frame is in the way on, and clean the underneath of this car up really, really good. And it'd be nice to undercoat it, but you know, at least maybe not the whole underneath, but at least around all the edges. And the reason why I say that, and hear me out, is because when you roll this frame back underneath there, you know, you're going to scratch something, or something's going to happen. So, you know, you don't want to spend all the time making everything perfect underneath of it, and then you roll the frame back underneath of it, and then you chip up a couple different spots underneath of it. So that's why I don't want to do the whole underneath just yet. You know, I'd rather have the frame completely finished, then roll under and undercoat the edges of it, and then when it's underneath of it, then undercoat the rest of it. But I'm probably going to end up undercoating it, I'm pretty sure. And we'll probably come through the factory seam. I like to paint all the way down to where the factory seam is right there, and then from that point back, just undercoat it. But most of this stuff you won't see on the firewall here. But I'm going to put the original heater box and all back in here. I'm not, you know, we're not doing anything special. This is just a bare bones car. It's a strong foot / strong arm car there. So if you know what I'm talking about manual brakes and manual steering. I do not want manuals. I do not want power steering or power brakes on this car. I don't want any of that, you know. I do not want AC or anything. I want this to be a bare bones car. That's the way I always wanted this car. And we're building if y'all don't know, it's a 94 TBI 350. And we're going to put double hump heads on it. We're going to dress it up, make it period correct in quotations there, as a 327. And then I'm going to put the Saginaw 4-speed in here. I know it's currently in my C10 right now, but I have another 4-speed I'd like to put in here, and might look into actually upgrading to a Muncie, and just kind of going all the way with it. But we'll see. That'll be something a little later. I don't want the car to be down, another, almost 20 years just because of a transmission or something. This car, the Chevelle project has been going on for almost 17 years now, and well, it's actually almost 18 years really. And it's time to get this stuff done and get back on it, and I'm just tired of farting around with it, and I just want to get it done. So I'm not trying to restore the car. I just want it, I just want to have fun with it. So, and that's why I want to go the extra mile on this frame and clean everything up, address everything now, because more than likely I plan on putting regular tags on this car, and that entails getting this car a state inspection. It sucks. I don't like state inspections. I mean, I won't get into it too much, but I'll just say I think they're very unconstitutional in my opinion. And, people are going to drive what they want to drive regardless, if they got a safety inspection or not. That's just the way the world is. That's the real world here. But, anyway, I'll just leave it at that. But basically, I want to put regular tags on it. I don't have any limitations on it. I want to drive where I want to drive. If I want to drive out of state, I can do it and not have to worry. And, so that's the plan with this car, and unfortunately, that's going to entail getting the state inspection stickers, but it is what it is. But I'd rather inspect something like this versus something modern that's going to have a bunch of hit eggs and electronic junk and everything else. It's so much easier. I would rather this car fail for state inspection than something new, because 9 times out of 10, it's something simple. And, that's the way I look at it. So I would... like anything that is a ABS, non-airbag, like our 59 here and our 89, it does have ABS, but it does not have airbags, thank God. Our 78 doesn't have airbags or ABS or any of that crap. But, any of my vehicles back here, even the 89 here, you don't have to worry about airbags. That is the main thing. And it's so much easier to get to pass inspection, because even if it fails, like I said, it's something simple. And I don't mind it. I don't want it to fail. It sucks. But I'd rather something on that fail than something newer that's got all this electronic crap on it, and I'd be pulling my hair out. So, all right, so I'm rambling on here. This is what we got, and we'll have some more videos to come here, and we'll have more videos on the 57 Plymouth. But this is about the Chevelle here, and we'll get this thing lower down for, the wind decides to. It is windy today, to take it off our jack stands there. I said jack stands, but our cinder blocks. All right, I'm excited here. Can't have talk, so see y'all later. Bye. 67 Chevelle. Interesting fact here. That's for your back seat, the top of the back seat to sit on. They have one there, they have one there, they have one over there. I wonder why there's not one right there. That's kind of oddball. And there never was one there, so I'm surprised they need 4. And I got one there. Last one's over there, but it's not one there. I noticed it's 1, 2, and then there's the 3. I'm surprised I didn't put one there. That's interesting. Pretty solid up in there. It's dirt. The dirt over here too, but it's solid. It's really solid. Cars, pretty solid, so. A little bit of rust in the front floor pans, but nothing major. Got really nice braces. Really nice. See y'all later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.